Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. Today we're going to show you how to make the Cosmopolitan. And why? Well, I was looking for a video because we have a live stream on Friday. So if you're watching this week, the live stream will be on Friday. If you'd like to stay tuned for that, it'll be a live broadcast, probably 2 hours, 3 hours long, of all the videos that I'm going to be producing for the next month or so. We just broadcast while we're filming. I was looking for a video to make before the broadcast so that I had some content for Tuesday. And so I searched, what's the most common question people ask? And apparently one of the most common questions that people ask about bartending and cocktails is how to make a Cosmopolitan. So I was like, I guess I'll do that again. So here we go. This is the recipe I'm using. You can get it on recipe.awesomedrinks.com. I think Liqueur.com has the same type of recipe, which is 1.5 ounces of citrus vodka. I'm going to use orange, Kettle One orange vodka. You could use lemon vodka, lime vodka if they make a thing, or any other citrus vodka. 3/4 ounce of Cointreau. So I'm fresh out of Cointreau, or I lost it someplace here. I'm going to give you some alternatives. I'm going to be using dry curacao because Cointreau typically is a dry, bitter type of orange liqueur, and I'm going to use the dry curacao from Pierre Ferrand as an appropriate substitution. 3/4 ounce of lime juice and 1/2 ounce of cranberry juice because it's going to be pink. That's part of the Cosmos charm. And it gives it a little bit more dryness and a little bit more tartness, so that's always lovely. Alternatively, you could find more of a citrus-looking vodka like Sky. I'm going to use this because I know I have about 1.5 ounces, which is what I need, and it'll empty the bottle that I've had. And if you've been watching the show for a while, oh, by the way, you could chill your martini glass or put it in anything, but typically these are served in a martini glass. You know I don't like vodka. I don't recommend vodka for cocktails. Most vodka cocktails to me are bland, boring, or taste like the base ingredient. You're just basically boozing up the ingredient. But the Cosmo does need a little bit of a lift. You see, orange liqueur is basically where it's at. You're going to use the Cointreau or whatever the product is, the dry curacao. And dry curacao, I think it's got a little bit of a potency factor to it, 40-80. So this is a 40%. So yeah, it's strong. Even Cointreau is strong, but you can indeed use substitutions like a triple sec, like a De Cooper's triple sec, 30 proof. So you're at like 15%. That's at 40. So big difference. So you can lift up the spirit, the potency with the vodka. And you just make it. You could use a regular vodka if you don't have citrus vodka. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy citrus vodka. However, I would prefer to own a citrus vodka versus a standard vodka if I was just in the average Joe that didn't have a bar in his basement. 3/4 of our orange liqueur. Appropriate substitutes. Triple sec is going in a slightly cheaper direction. It's going to be a little sweeter. This is going to be a little drier. This drink usually calls for dry. So do what you want for the price you want. This cocktail, if you make it at home. Now, you buy this at a bar, I bet you it's $12 to $15 easy. I didn't get to look through the recipe menu books or anything like that to see what people are currently selling them for, but I'm pretty certain it ain't going to be that cheap. For $2.50, this cocktail we're building, this might be a little cheaper. The one I'm recommending with the Cointreau, you're basically at $2.50 a cocktail. If you clock down to some De Cooper triple sec, that's like $7 instead of $30, so you're going to get down to about $1.80 per cocktail. $2.50, $1.80. It's far less than the $12, $15, $18 you're going to get at a bar. So pick the product that you think is going to be the most enjoyable for you. Spend a little bit more on your orange liqueur. This drink is very simple, so the ingredient list is small. This is going to make a difference in the end flavor, as is this. Other substitutes you may try. Grand Gala, which is like a different brand of Cointreau. Think of it like a brandied orange liqueur. You could try, if you'd like to, like a blood orange, a Salerno. This gives it a unique flavor. It's not going to taste like any standard orange liqueur. You could buy a couple of them and mix and match and play with them and figure out which one you like the best. That's part of the fun. Cranberry juice against this 3/4 of lime. If you're afraid that the drink is going to be a little too sour, just either go a little lighter on the lime. You could go a little heavier on the orange liqueur. But I wouldn't go too heavy on the cranberry juice because this is your coloring agent for this drink. And if you go too heavy, it's going to be a little too red. It'll look more like a Cape Codder. Also, don't forget you can go to awesomedrinks.com if you want to get yourself a bartender starter kit. I don't sell these cool pink ones anymore because nobody was buying them. But I figured it was appropriate for the specific cocktail design. shake it, go about 10 seconds. Doesn't have to be too aggressive. I think I went about 15 seconds because I just didn't feel like it was getting cold enough. Now, here's a tip for you. You're gonna have some people that complain, because that's what people do. But if you shake this really aggressively, your ice is gonna break up. You're gonna have little chunks, little big pieces, bigger pieces. So here's something. You can get yourself this little strainer piece here. I have different size ones. Let's use this one because that's the one I saw at Ostrich.com. This paired with some sort of straining device over here, strain it into this specific finer grain strainer. So this holds back the major ice. This holds back the tiny little ice crystals. You can hear them. Hear them? No joke, those are ice crystals right there. You can hear them. What you've done is you've cleaned out the ice crystals, and then you've left none of those little things floating around inside. Some people are like, oh, I don't like the little nuggets of ice in there. Other people enjoy having those things. So yeah, it's personal preference. If you go to a higher end bar, they typically will double strain to get rid of them so it stays natural. Also, in the case of using fresh lime, some of the fleshy bits may not be sitting in your drink as they would otherwise. So you get that going for you. The cost breakdown on this before we take our sip, about 20 bucks for citrus vodka, and you can go high or low, but 20 bucks on average here in the US. Apparently not in certain places, not in certain states where it's like 40 or 50. I don't understand you guys. You got to move someplace else. Cranberry juice, $3.69 for a 64-ounce big container. That comes out to about 3 cents per your cocktail, basically just for color. The lime was 50 cents for me, so I broke that down to about 38 cents for the drink. Cointreau, $30, so that's going to basically contribute 90 cents to the drink. If you go with the triple sec instead, you're working on about $7. That brings you to about 21 cents to the drink, giving you the range of $2.51 to about $1.82. Preferably, I would go, in this case, even if you're going cheap, I would still prefer the higher end orange liqueur. You can use it in your margaritas and stuff too. It's just too simple of a drink. So it's got a good tartness. I'd say right away that sour lime hits you, followed by a little bit of that, I want to say like the citrus and booziness. The thing I like about adding the cranberry juice and the orange liqueur to a citrus vodka, for me personally, and other people might identify this way as well, but I find a lot of citrus vodkas tend to either give you like a chemical taste, and I think that's just, or like lemon pledge, or things that almost are like cleaning agents. And really it's, you've got a high proof spirit without any added sugar to it, drawn in with citrus. And I think our taste and our faculties just want to go with, you know, ethanol, chemical, citrus, the agent that you use so the chemical cleaner doesn't smell like chemical. It would be, I would say this could be a poolside type of cocktail if made in large quantities. However, let's be honest, there's not a lot of fruit in here. It's not a lot of juice in here. So you're going to feel these much quicker. You could try a product like Deep Eddy. This happens to be a ruby red, instead of just a standard vodka, like flavored vodka. But Deep Eddy and a bunch of these other guys, not only they add some level of sugar to them to give them that more delicious flavor, I think. And usually the way you could tell is if the proofage in this case is 35%. That usually tells me like 5% of that's probably sugar and it's offsetting the alcohol, which is a great way to give a silky smoothness to something. And flavored spirits, even flavored vodkas will typically do that, add a little bit of a few grams of sugar to it so that you get less of that chemical weird taste. Not a massive fan of Cosmos. I know my dad likes Cosmos, but it is highly popular. I could tell because both Google and large language models told me this was a very popular thing to request. So there you go. That, my friends, is the Cosmopolitan. Don't forget this Friday live stream. I don't know what we're going to be making. If you got big suggestions for some cocktails for the upcoming month, let me know. I'm thinking there's probably going to be some tiki in there. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's it, my friends. We're teaching you how to drink.